it's been a moment since we turned on a camera. We hightailed it basically to Perth. We've just been so busy, like we just had a heap of stuff on. So we had a heap of work to catch up on, a heap of shoots and stuff to do. Went to the Perth caravan show. Harrison had a birthday. Basically just got some life admin sorted and all those things when you know you're in and around the city. We absolutely love meeting everyone at the caravan show. We, yeah, loved, like it just, it's so nice to actually meet people face to face rather than, you know, this interaction where I feel like you know me but I don't get to know you very well. We were in a caravan park and we're like, we've got nothing booked, Easter's coming, school holidays, let's just go inland for a bit, find like somewhere off grid that will be hopefully less busy. So we're out here for a couple of nights. I would say we're 3 hours northeast of Perth, a couple of hours from Geraldton still, sort of on the inland side. I will get Simon to chuck the description of where we are just here. That's how much of a moment it's been. So we're just having a day or a couple of days now to just relax, decompress, unwind, reset. And Simon's cooking dinner. Simon, we've done a bit of shopping in Perth, so we've got some new gear which we're keen to test out. Simon's went all out and bought these fancy dancy saucepans because our saucepan was on the blink, so we're testing that out tonight. Have I got this? It's a solid Technics plate. Simon's been oogling them, drooling over them on the internet. What'd you buy, Duh?
Well, you were present, dear.
I love that you bought it for me, but you're using it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Do you know how many people think that you're the only person that cooks on this channel?
I am the only person that cooks on this channel. Well, the Easter school holiday struggle continues. We moved on now. We're about an hour and a half north of where we were. I can't remember what it's called, the place we were at. We've come to a little town called Abber. I think if you're a WA local or a Perth local, you'd know Abber. It's on the main highway heading north to Geraldton out of Perth. And it's an odd place probably to hang out for a few days. But while the school holidays are on, it's Easter this weekend. It's actually the perfect place to hang out. It's $5 per person per night. Kids are free, so $10 a night for us. Little playground across the road. There's showers, flushing toilets. There's basketball courts, and the local pool's just up the road here.
Yeah, just like, I don't know, less than 100 meters. So we're kind of looking at it like this is all the facilities you would get in a caravan park. We were just in a Perth caravan park paying over $80 a night. This is 10. Happy days. It's just a little bit warm.
Yep. So obviously no power. We don't need that. And there is water in town, only a couple hundred meters from camp. So we filled up on the way in. There's a tap there to fill up. So yeah, it's everything we need. And it's a good spot for us to hide out and wait for the school holiday madness to pass us by. We've got some plans to go and explore around Kalbarri and do a bit of stuff up there. But we just want to wait for the school holidays to finish first. We're going to go for a bit of an explore this morning. It's only about 20 minutes to the coast and there's a couple of campsites we might go and check out. Last time we were in the area we stayed at Lake Indoon, which is just up the road here. I'll show you Lake Indoon. But last time we were here it had water in it. I was surprised to find this time it's dry. It's a dry salt lake. It looks like someone's had a crack at driving on Lake Indoon. That's certainly not something I'd recommend, trying to drive on a dry lake. Any of these salt lakes can look deceptively dry on the surface, but they hold a lot of moisture under the ground, and once you get in that deep black mud, you'd be doing well to get out on your own or at all. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, bit sad to see it dry. It is a nice campsite when there's water in this one. But yeah, there's a few people camped here, but I think when it's dry like this, Abber where we are in town's a bit nicer. There's a bit of grass and playground, and there's a pool, so you can actually go for a swim, which is nice. So yeah, but we'll keep heading out to the coast and see what we can find. We just pulled into Knobby Head Campground, one of these camps along the coast here, sort of south of Dongra. So there's Cliff Head, Knobby Head, Freshwater Point, and they're all council run, $20 a night, maximum 3-night stay, any combination of those campsites. So yeah, we're just gonna go and check them out. They look like they're more sort of fishing shack sort of villages and more set up for sort of fishing rather than for camping, but we'll go in and have a look at this one anyway and see what we think. But I'm not sure it's for us for this trip. It's also very windy out on the coast, like always in WA. It's good, like rustic beachfront camping here. I don't know, it's 20 bucks a night. We know of better spots further up the coast that are, you know, the same price or cheaper, so I don't know. Might have to have a think about it whether I'm tempted to come here, but it's just, I like checking out, going drives and doing a bit of a recce and checking out other options for camping when you're in an area. Just, well, partly to share it with you guys, but also for if we come back here one day, just so you know what else is around. If you were here, it's busy at the moment, but I mean, Easter long weekend, it's probably as busy as it gets.
So I've just got back from our little recce of those campgrounds. Just got back into the van and we left the windows open, and there's obviously been a few dust storms come in. Have a go at this. One of the most essential things you can take caravanning with you is a dust buster, vacuum cleaner. Just do it. Just get yourself one. Don't mess around. We like the ones with the batteries that you can recharge. We use it for obviously cleaning the floor, cleaning dust and stuff that comes in. The other thing we use it for that's really handy is sucking up bugs at night. So if you get bugs inside, which all caravans do at some point or another, instead of trying to spray bugs, which is never a good thing in an enclosed space, we just suck them up with a vacuum cleaner. It's annoying, I just wash the sheets and everything.
All right, so we made the call to head into Geraldton yesterday. We decided to skip all those bush camps down a bit further south just because, well, they're not great. They're not too bad, but we know of better spots up north, so we're looking forward to spending our time up there. We were just going to go to a rest area just outside Dongra. It was not great, and then we went into Dongra Recreation Ground thinking it was $10 a night camp there. Turns out it's 30 bucks a night to stay there at the rec ground, and we knew of this little 24-hour rest stop up here in Geraldton, so we decided just to whip up here. It's kind of one of the advantages to having travelled an area before, is we've got a rough idea of what's in an area and what to expect. Really like the 24-hour stop in Geraldton. It's nice and close into town. It's nothing special at all. It is literally a car park, but it's just managed really well. There's a dump point there and fresh water available and bins, so everything travellers need all in one spot. Absolutely love that, and walking distance into town and down to the playground for the kiddos. We got in pretty late yesterday afternoon and just chilled out, but this morning we're at Aldi, and there's something special about this Aldi, isn't there, Lizzie?
This is the very last Aldi we're going to hit for a very long time, probably for a few months actually. We know that there's just a couple of Woolies. We've got a Woolies in Carnarvon, and then it's nothing for IGAs for the next couple of months. So we're doing a big provision around here. The Aldi in Geraldton, if you park just behind the BWS, which is right next door, there's a massive gravel parking lot for large vehicles. We've got the Bluetti with us that we're testing at the moment, which is a fridge freezer. We're still debating whether we're going to turn it into a freezer for the meat or just run it as a milk fridge for our coffee supply, which is going to be amazing to have that extra storage. Yes, the provisioning day. So again, we just like to unpack, put everything away as you go, unpackage everything, and get rid of as much rubbish as you can while you're here. We did a full video on this, on how we like unpack and how we shop for long-term stays off-grid. I'll leave the link to the description. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below for you.
Bit of an update on the Bluetti fridge and power unit that we've been testing lately. So this is what Bluetti calls their swap solar ecosystem. If you didn't see our first video on this, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go and check that out. But this is the latest power unit and Bluetti's newest fridge. The really cool thing, the biggest point of difference about this fridge, is that it takes its own battery. So this is a 60 amp battery, or roughly equivalent to 60 amp battery, that is removable. It has a little latch here. Someone asked about whether these batteries could slide out or jump out or move around while you're traveling. because the same batteries also go in the power unit. You can see one of them's missing because it's in the fridge. No, they clip in the batteries, which is pretty cool. So they're locked in tight, and they also have, you hit the button on them and it tells you how charged they are. It has 5 little LEDs to give you an idea of the state of charge. They're hot swappable, so you don't have to turn anything off to swap batteries around. You can be charging batteries in the power unit from either solar, DC charge, or hooked up to 240 if you're on mains power, and same in the fridge. You can plug a solar panel directly into the fridge, as well as DC power like we've got it connected at the moment, or obviously run it off AC as well. It's got this ice maker in it, which is pretty cool. I think it's a really cool idea. It makes ice really, really quickly. It doesn't keep it frozen though. So you've sort of got to make it and use it when you need it. I just think for the amount of space it takes up, a little freezer there would be a separate compartment that runs as a freezer, would be pretty cool, because it is a single zone fridge. Other than that, I think the other thing you could do if you're looking at buying one of these is buying a third battery would be handy. So you could have 2 batteries in the power unit and 1 in the fridge would be really cool. But overall, I mean, I think it's a really cool idea. The fridge I tested the other day, so I ran it just on pure battery power. So I charged 1 battery up fully, and from 1 battery, it ran for 2.5 days, which I think is pretty impressive. That's a really handy amount of time. That means if you're going away for a weekend or something like that, you've got enough charge there. You could charge it up at home, take 1 battery with you, and the fridge is going to run all weekend. Keeping in mind that test, when I tested off the battery, the ambient temperature was in the mid-30s during the day. It was still fairly warm at night as well. I had it running on max mode, so it has 2 modes, like max mode for chilling it down, or eco mode, which you would normally run it on the battery. I was trying to sort of get a worst case scenario type output. The fridge was pretty full, and it was set to -2 temperature. So to run it for that long with those settings, I think is pretty impressive. So obviously if it wasn't as hot, or if you didn't run it on max mode, you ran it on eco mode and didn't have the temperature set quite as low, say set it to 2 or 3 degrees instead, you might even get it out to 3 days or something like that. And then keeping in mind you've still got a second battery you can swap into it. So I think you could stretch it out probably to a week on 2 batteries. Obviously running it on a freezer, it's not going to be a lot shorter than that, but running as a fridge, it's really, really viable. And the cool thing about it too is if you don't have, say you're running this in the back of your car, your vehicle or something like that, you can have it plugged into DC like it is at the moment running off our caravan. But if you've got it in the back of your car plugged into a cigarette lighter output, when you're driving, it's going to be running off the car alternator and also charging that battery in there. When you pull up and turn the car off, it then automatically switches over and will run off the battery in the unit, so that you don't need a dual battery system and you're not running off the car's power when you're pulled up. And then obviously when you drive again, it kicks back in, runs the fridge, but also charges the battery. So that's where I see it as being a really handy use. Or if you're going away for a few weekends and things like that, being able to not have to have a dual battery system or a decent power system in your camping setup, you can just run it off the fridge battery and happy days, you've got a portable fridge. The other cool thing is you can pick the whole thing up and take it down the beach, take it wherever you want to go. It doesn't need to be plugged into a power source.
The Bluetti, fridge or freezer?
I think we'll pack our fridge and freezer, because we've also got the fridge in the car, and then see what we've got less room for. But I reckon it's going to run as a freezer for the first little while at least, and then we might click it back to a fridge. I also want to run it as a freezer for a bit and test it out to see how it goes. So we've run it as a beer fridge for a while. It does a good job of that, but we'll see, maybe see how it goes as a freezer, I reckon.
I did buy close to, I think, 16 litres of milk, because we're going away for a few weeks, and yeah, coffee is life. So it's a nice luxury to have fresh milk for that long. So yeah, we'll just unpack this and see how we're going.
We're going to get these groceries put away, and then we're heading north out of Geraldton. We're heading up towards Kalbarri, one of our favourite regions in WA. And last time we were here, it was hot, it was November, and we only got to spend a few days there. We're going to spend a lot longer there this time. A couple of new spots to check out, as well as some of our favourites. So looking forward to showing you all that. And we're going to check out Hut Lagoon on the way up there too. Bye Aldi. See you again soon-ish, maybe not. Oh.
Alright, so after a few years of travelling on the road, we have worked out a system that works for us, and that is, do not try and do a sandy beach drive where you know you're possibly going to get bogged at the end of a restock day when you're already tired. You know, getting food, getting fuel, getting water, all those things you need to do before you head for an extended period off grid. It's about 3 o'clock now. So we just looked, and there's a free camp that we found called, it's just up Coronation Bay. It's off the main road, down a side track with all the flies, but perfect for us for overnight. And that means that tomorrow morning we can head into Lagoon, check it out when we're nice and fresh, and then roll on into Lucky Bay. So that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to chill out overnighters. Sometimes, honestly, it's so good. I love an overnighter every now and then, in between big stops, especially when they're free, off the side of the road. You don't need much. Like, we have everything we need in our caravan. It didn't take you long.
No, I got to show everyone inside the fridge in the car. Hang on a second, it's too many flies to have the door open to talk to you. So in the drawer fridge, there's 30 emus and 2 crays. Actually 29 emus and 2 crays. While I was filling up with water at the Geraldton boat ramp there this morning, a couple of fishers came through that had a pretty good haul of crayfish, and I just got chatting to them and having a bit of yarn about what we do and what they do, and they threw me a couple of crayfish. So I'm gonna have to cook up a couple of crayfish now. Worst things could happen. How's that fly? Right on the lens. There, we're a bit away from the coast here, and there's flies everywhere.
If I'm ever applying for a job again, I'm totally putting professional fly swatter on my resume.
It's really nice just to break it up, I think. It can't always be doing amazing things, and compared to that Geraldton 24-hour rest stop, as good as it is, we had people like backpackers camp literally right outside our window because of the way the parking setup is. So it's quite nice to have a bit of peace and quiet and have the place to ourselves tonight. And then I think where we're going tomorrow is going to be pretty busy. So we're going to enjoy this while it lasts. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful quiet and peace. All right, we'll see you guys in the morning.
Just making some towers.
Missed this thing. Another news, I finished my design course, which means I've got a Cert 4, fully qualified interior decorator now, which is bloody amazing. And yeah, look out. See what we do with this, hey?
Does that mean you're going to start doing news?
That means what it actually really means is that now I can put more time and effort into our website. So there'll be newsletters, posts, blogs, all sorts of fun stuff coming your way with all my newfound spare time. Better subscribe.
Back on the road this morning, we, after a quick coffee and quick pack up, just headed up the highway to Northampton and turned off there towards Port Gregory. And we're going to go and check out one of our highlights from last time we were in WA, which is the pink lake at Lagoon.
James is convinced that this lake is going to taste and smell like jelly. I think he's in for quite the rude shock. It's actually used to produce an algae and vitamin. James, it's not jelly. Of algae and vitamin that's used in cosmetics and in shrimp farming and prawn and used as fish food. So, pretty interesting. James has got himself cut. He's cut his foot up while he's fallen into one of the...
Yeah, you sliced your foot open.
He sliced his foot open on all the salt. Lost his thongs, went into a puddle, didn't listen to, when your parents say don't walk in the water, just walk on top of it, around the salt. Now we've got, go grab the first aid kit.
You're a silly Billy, aren't you? I think just the salt crystals has cut his feet because he got into the deep mud. Well, that was an interesting little expedition. We didn't actually explore the lake for that long before James got himself bogged and then cut his feet, so he had to come back and give his feet a good wash. They were only pretty minor cuts, but the salt water in his cuts was stinging quite a lot. So we came back, gave him a quick rinse with the fresh water, and he's fine. How good's this, just quietly? We got Harrison got a Nintendo Switch for his birthday. We've got the Switch mounted up in the iPad holder, which has got its own charge point up into the side of the roof console there. And the kids just sit in the back seat playing Nintendo Switch. They're playing Mario Kart. So Liz and I are pretty jealous. We'd much rather be sitting back there playing Mario Kart. No, not really. There's some beautiful landscapes out here that I'm really appreciating. Well, it's a photographer and videographer's paradise, the old Hutt Lagoon. Not that flash from the ground. It's cool from the ground, but it's pretty stinky and quite windy. But I'll tell you what, you get the drone up and it's a completely different picture from up there. Check this out. Did it again. I forgot to clip the bloody stone stomper back up after I washed James's feet. For 2 years we travelled, I'd never forgot to unclip. I don't know if it's just because we had the tailgate on the old car and so we weren't unclipping it for roadside stops as much, whereas now we unclip it to get in the back of the car. But anyway, at least I stopped before it was completely destroyed. The clips are a little bit munched, but anyway, pain in the ass.
Are you loving the flies, Dal?
Oh, the flies are driving me bonkers. It's funny, when I'm outside they don't annoy me. As soon as I'm in the car, I feel like it's my place and you're in my place. Get out, get out.
So when Simon jumped out of the car to grab the stone stomper, I tried to jump out and film it for you guys, but I missed it, I was too slow. But what I did do is lose the lens cap as I jumped out of the car. So we've just chucked a Yui, come back to look for, yet again, this lens cap, which I did find on the side of the road. I did have to go for a little walk. But it was really interesting as I was walking, you look at the pink lake and you're so overwhelmed by the beauty of the pink lake that you forget to see the other little details. And as I was walking along the side of the road, all of these beautiful plants, it almost looks like a bonsai garden. It's like, every one of these plants looks like a miniature bonsai all through this desert area. Like, it is just absolutely stunning. And if you just came across just this one section just here, you would stop and pull over and take photos of it, but you don't notice it so much because you're distracted by the beauty of the pink lake, which is so unusual. So it's like, oh, it's kind of actually been a real blessing in disguise. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Seriously, like, look at these little bonsais. They're just so cool. They're like prop of trees that are just grown in this desert salt marshland. All right, I gotta get out of here before these flies attack me. I gotta go dig out where we kept our fly nets, I reckon. It's time. It's time they've made their way back out. Join us next week as we tackle the notoriously soft sand dunes of Kalbarri's Lucky Bay with our caravan on in an attempt to get to one of the best beach campsites in the country. Spoiler alert, next week's episode involves a whole lot of digging. See you guys next Sunday.
Yeah, huge.
Oh wow, that's really zoomed in. Let's go back a minute, hey?
I'm just going to put it in 4-wheel drive. I just got bogged in the car park. Let me just unbog myself.
Just gonna focus on my face. So I'll put this down so you can see me. Oh. And in other news, can you see me?
Can you? What do you want to say to the camera, James?
I was going to say today we've been to a salt lake, but then I